student of the counterintelligence program, so I know about our own media as well. I know about our government, and I know about our media. At the December 1999 trial, where a jury found that the United States government did conspire to murder Dr. Martin Luther King Jr., there was testimony given, and that transcript of that trial is available on the internet for everyone to see and read. You can read it yourself. And it's the editor of Covert Quarterly at that time, who testified as an expert witness. And his testimony was that approximately 30% of the funds of the CIA went for perception management, is what they call it now. It's a media that lied to you, is what I call it. 935 times they lied in the lead up to the Iraq War, because they wanted to make sure that you felt good about your country going in and bombing innocent people. So they had to lie to you 935 times. Condoleezza Rice, George Bush, Dick Cheney, you know the lot. All of them lied. And the media repeated those lies. But according to Project Censored, and I hope you all are fans of Project Censored, in 2003, a court in the United States ruled, in Florida, ruled that it's okay for the media to knowingly lie to you in 2003. But that means then that what they did, the demonization against Dr. Martin Luther King Jr., the demonization and the lies they told about Malcolm X, I guess that was not legal. But now when you look at CNN or Fox and they tell you a lie and they know that they're telling you a lie, that's legal now. So, and then I didn't have to look very far away. I didn't have to look at historical figures. I could look at the way the press had treated me. Because it's one thing that makes my mother cringe, because she knows that that person that has been so demonized by CNN, Fox, and all the rest of them, she knows that that person is not her child. But how in the world is she going to explain that to millions of people? So we have to go out into the world, or I have to go out into the world with the world thinking that I am a caricature of myself. It's a tremendous burden that I have to carry. And I could shrink away, I could slink out of public view and do exactly what they want me to do. But for some reason, I guess it's the spirit of my daddy, it is impossible for me to allow them to get away with their lies without a challenge. Sarah and I have been in too many airports just in the last 6 days. She knows that every time it's like, you know, I am not taking off my clothes. I am not going through that Michael Chertoff radiation machine. And it's like resistance even at the airport. But you know, that's how they also want to keep us so busy on that little wheel that we never ever consider why we're doing what we're doing and what they're doing, more importantly. So anyway, for all of what you've heard from Sarah and from Khalifa and my own personal experiences, it was important for me to put this delegation of alternative journalists together to go and understand what the truth was in Libya. And we were there when NATO intensified their bombing. That was 29 bombs over the course of the night. But that wasn't sufficient for NATO, so they started bombing in the morning, in the afternoon, in the evening, and in the night. And on that day of bombing intensification, the first bomb went off at 11 a.m. to 11:30 p.m. that night. We counted 89 bombs. Now, every town we've been in, they have a problem with the teachers. They're passing out pink slips to teachers. Our president just warned us, sort of the shot over the bow, that he didn't really want to land anywhere except in the middle of your psyche, is that maybe the Social Security checks won't go out on time. So they are going to threaten the commitments that they have made to our seniors, threaten the future of this country by denying young people adequate education, and for that matter, all of us with lifelong learning. Deny all of that so they can bomb 89 times in one town, 1.5 million people, which is like throwing that into, say, for example, Boston. Can you imagine? 89 bombs and missiles being lobbed into Boston. And so what is the result? Collective security, targeting civilians, and in this case, targeted assassination. All of this stuff is against the law. Our president is committing war crimes. Aside from the violation of his oath of office, the failure to abide by the Constitution, to recognize the War Powers Act, these are overt criminal acts. And people are dying. I had one young Libyan, I'm sorry to say, at one of our meetings, and she yelled out, "Those bombs don't kill people." Well, why has the Pentagon worked so hard to get so many? Because the Pentagon is a killing machine. That's what they specialize in. And that's what they're doing to the people of Libya. Now, I was only there for a little time, and you hear a whiz go over your head, and all of a sudden, you oh my goodness. Or the drone, you can hear the drone, you can hear the thunder clap of the bomb. And imagine if you're a kid. Imagine if you're trying to take exams, as the university students were. When I was there, I visited Alabama University, and they were sitting there, all the stuff, hanging up and everything from the concussion of the bombs, and they were determined that they were not going to change their lifestyle because NATO was bombing. They were going to go to school, they were going to finish their courses, they were going to finish their final exams, and there's this great defiance of the people. They bombed Bab al-Aziza, which is the place where Gaddafi's daughter was murdered by U.S. bombs in 1986. And now it's like a big place where they have a party every night. So NATO knows that the civilians are there in their demonstration against the bombing, but NATO bombs anyway, and there are some people who die as a result of this. So anyway, the message that I would like to leave with you is that you have the opportunity to make a difference on this Congress. The American people get it before the members of Congress do. Please let your member of Congress know that you want them